if I need to get from point A to point B and I make a couple wrong turns, as long as it got me to point B, I'm going to keep making those wrong turns the next time. I don't want to find a new way to get there as long as I know that making those wrong turns will get me where I need to go. For our learners, it's the same thing.
Hi, I'm Shayna, and I've been in the field of ABA and autism for over 20 years.
Hi, I'm Shira, and I am a teacher turned BCBA, and we are both board-certified behavior analysts, and together we created How to ABA.
Our mission is to empower ABA professionals by sharing relevant strategies and actionable tips on our blog, podcast, and YouTube channel.
We want to make quality ABA programs available to more people so that you can feel confident and master what you love.
Today, we're going to be talking about the purpose of transfer trials.
The purpose of transfer trials is to make sure that any error that a child is making in learning doesn't become embedded in the response. So what I mean by that is if we're asking a child a question and they make an error and then we correct them without going back and re-asking that question, that error is going to become part of the learned response that they're going to make. For example, I have a horrible sense of direction. And so if I need to get from point A to point B, and I make a couple wrong turns, as long as it got me to point B, I'm going to keep making those wrong turns the next time. I don't want to find a new way to get there as long as I know that making those wrong turns will get me where I need to go. For our learners, it's the same thing. If they get access to the end of that trial or some sort of reinforcement while having that mistake embedded in the response, there's no motivation there for them to make the correct response the first time, the next time they're presented with the same SD.
I'm laughing, Shira, because I've been in the car with you and I've seen you make a few of those turns. But yeah, you're exactly right. That and, in technical terms, we want the learner to be responding to the one particular SD versus responding to us. And what I mean by that is if I said to Shira, what's this? And she said something else, say something else,
Banana.
And I say, it's a sock. And she says,
oh, sock.
That's echoic. That's not responding to the SD. What is it? It's responding to me saying it's a sock. And she says a sock. So the next time I present this card, what is it? She's probably going to wait for me because she wants to respond to the echoic. So therefore, we need to be doing a transfer trial. So what does a transfer trial look like? It looks like this. What is it? Say banana.
Banana.
It's a sock.
Sock.
And then my transfer trial, what is it?
Sock.
You got it. It's a sock. Alternatively, you can do something like this. What is it?
Banana.
Sock.
Sock.
Let's try that one again. What is it?
Sock.
You got it. It's a sock. Okay, so that's the transfer trial. And that's what we mean is just representing that SD so that the learner has a chance to respond to the SD correctly and not just doing an echoic.
And that entire sequence of responses is one trial. So if they needed a transfer trial, we would mark that trial as incorrect. And the purpose of the transfer trial is to teach them to respond to that SD correctly. Even though they respond correctly, it's still one incorrect trial. And then the next time it's presented and not after the error correction, that would be a new trial.
Sometimes I'll even go further and do some type of expanded trial before I go on to another trial. So what does that look like? It looks like this. What is it?
Banana.
Sock.
Sock.
You got it. It's a sock. What is it?
Sock.
Wasn't taking data on that. You got it. It's a sock. Do this. Amazing. Now I'm going on to my new trial. That was the expanded trial by just doing something completely different. And then I'm going to go on to my new trial. This one I'm going to be taking data on again. What is it? Please say sock.
Sock.
You got it. Amazing.
We're answering a question from the community on transfer trials and error correction. The question said, how should I count a response if the client corrects themselves within the trial? For example, if the question said, what color is this? When holding up a red block, the client might say, blue, I mean red. Would that be correct or incorrect? The other part of the question was, let's say the same thing happened, but the response from the client is red and then sings in between and then does something before saying the correct response. Is that response correct or incorrect?
That's a really tough question and a great question. It really does depend on the learner. And I feel like I'm always saying this. It depends on the learner. It depends on the learner, but it really does. And the reason I say that is because my first response is absolutely it's incorrect response. If the learner has a history of scrolling, then it would definitely be an incorrect response and we'd have to do a transfer trial. But if the learner truly did just make a mistake and no, I meant like blue, no, I meant red. Well, then if you start correcting correcting the learner and adding in, more correction trials, this might actually serve to frustrate the learner. So you really do need to individualize that response to the learner. Alternatively, if the learner is adding in a la blue response to it, it might be that the child or individual has mastered the program or mastered the question and is really just bored, right? Like motivation, it's more fun to sing this than it is to actually just say it because you've asked me this so many times. So really judge that and fix your response based on that. But if you are doing a transfer trial, look at how you do it and how to correct that. So Shira, if you were doing, if the learner did have a history of scrolling, or if the learner was chaining in like a sing-song voice with the answer, and it wasn't because of motivation and it wasn't because they knew the answer already, it was really truly because it was, behavior that we needed to correct, then we need to do a transfer trial. So let's demonstrate how that would work. Do you want to be the learner?
Sure.
All right, sounds good. So if I said, what color is it? And the color was red that I'm asking for, and you say blue. So what color is it?
Blue.
You're supposed to scroll. Blue, red,
blue, red, blue, red, blue, red.
It's blue. What color is it? Blue.
Blue.
Good, you got it. That is an incorrect response. That's obviously an incorrect response. I'm marking it as incorrect. Now I'm going to do a transfer trial. I'm not taking data on my transfer trial. The purpose of the transfer trial is to teach, throwing my pen down and teaching. So if I said, what color is it? Blue. Say it with me. What color is it?
Blue.
You got it. It's blue. What color is it?
Blue.
Blue. You got it. That's a transfer trial. Then I might do an expanded trial like, touch your head or do this, and I might clap my hands. She does something, and then I'm going to re-ask the question. And when I re-ask that question after I've done something else, that's a new trial.
For access to more free resources, programs, downloads, and data sheets, check out our free membership at howtoaba.com/free-materials.